It's time. Let's turn on the juice and see what shakes loose. Hey guys, welcome to Picksburgh. This is Anthony, and you're joining us today for the Entrepre-Doers morning show. With me, as always, is my co-host Tommy 2.0, aka the Bargain Effect. Nate will probably be jumping in at some point here. And we have Glenn Swamp Picker as our special guest this morning.
And we have a call in. No.
Glenn is at work, guys, and he's going to have to answer phone calls and help customers. So he'll jump in and out as we're going. But I want to go ahead and just welcome a few people in. Brownie points today go to Justin Jacobs once again. He was starting to lose that lead to Craig, but he comes back today firing on all cylinders. Reseller Man says still not early enough. Guess I'll try again tomorrow. Yeah, man. Sorry, Justin Jacobs is he's got his game on.
Yeah, but I will say there is still plenty of time, even if you don't have an entry in yet. There's still plenty of time to win it.
Absolutely. Reseller King, good morning to you. Kelly, the Ecom Mom Ward, she's making a quick what sold video for October. That's cool. I'll have to go and watch that. If you guys haven't yet, check that out whenever she posts it. Land Shark Picker, what's up, Craig? Justin just pulled ahead of you, man. We got the Cleveland Picker in the house. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Stuff from Sally. Good morning. Diane Matthews. Good morning to you. Michelle Lathan. Hello, hello. Lisa C. Good morning. She says, note to self, do not bleed on customers' purchases. Oh, man, that sucks. Guessing it was the tape gun or something. Next one's for Tommy.
Oh, them flipping critters.
Morning. Got the Shamrock Pixie. Hey, Destiny.
Come back.
Steven. Mark Pasternak's in the house. What's up, Mark? Good to see you, buddy. Be hanging out with him in a couple weeks. Wrestling.
Yeah, somebody was asking me about a iridium spark plug. Can you use it in the bike?
Gotcha.
That's how it was pronounced, someone like that. But I said, well, I just use stock plugs. Some people want to put different spark plugs in their bike. They can blow it up if you put the wrong plug in.
Hey, what's up, John? Nevermore Antiques. Good to see you, man. Blue Rhino Liquidations. How you doing, man? Packing his orders and listening.
Hey, John.
Eric Bischoff. Good morning, bud. Anyone else that hasn't said anything, feel free to, throw something in the chat so we can greet you. Not no big deal. Feel free to work and listen. So yeah, today our show, we wanted to bring Glenn on just to kind of interview him. Most of you guys probably know Glenn already, but in the odd case you don't, we definitely wanted to spotlight him today because he knows a whole lot. There's a wealth of information that Glenn's able to provide, and I've learned a lot just watching his pickups that he does when he goes yard selling and all that. So. Glenn, how did you get into reselling?
Well, basically, as far as the selling stuff, we had a bunch of pocket knives. Me and my dad used to sell at gun shows back in the late 80s. No, late 70s, early 80s, and all that. About 2 or 3 years. And basically, we still have them. They're sitting in boxes and all that. We used to go to, the Centralplex and the big arenas where they had the gun and knife shows. So about for 30 plus years, they sitting there. And so I need to get rid of them. And this was back in 2010, and I went to an eBay school, which was in Lafayette, which was about an hour away, and all that. And did that, and really didn't sell a whole lot of knives. I put a couple on there, but I got over a couple hundred knives or more. So one day I'm passing by a garage sale on the way to work. They said, come in late. And it was right there on the main road, so it wasn't like I was really looking for it. So I stopped by there, bought a clock, which I still have to this day, for $1 or $2. And it's built like in 1900 or 1901, so I went and got it repaired for like $70 and kept it. But that kind of got me into the garage selling deal and all that. Plus selling all this stuff at work, the old merchandise we had that never sold, putting it on eBay and selling it. And I started looking at YouTube shows and all that. I think Golden Finger Picker, Carone is how you pronounce his name. You know, watching those shows and all that back, 13 or 14 range. And I started, so hey, they selling other stuff too. So that's what got me into it, kind of.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what exactly do you do for your business that you're at right now?
I do everything from, since my dad passed away, I do more, but even then I did pretty much everything, from cleaning the toilets, cleaning the driveway early this morning, doing that, and get all the way to where it looks presentable when they drive up, just different little things. But basically sell motorcycle parts, KTM franchise dealer and all that. You send parts, do a lot of mail order too, and got a lot of local and all that. Cool. Type stuff. But we used to do it all bikes, as far as, the gear and the clothing. We kind of strictly do hard parts for the last 10 years, more specialized and all that.
Cool. That's awesome. So do you have like several like motorcycles and ATVs and stuff like that, like in like a showroom or anything?
ATV, I can't even get in the door. I got actually one there. My mom's, and it's a double door, and it's been sitting there like 15 years. But I used to race. I didn't start racing until I was almost 18 years old, even though I've been around it since I was 4 years old, since 1973. All that. So I used to go to races as a kid, but as far as riding myself, I didn't get a bike till I was like 18 and all that. And I guess when around 1996, I started racing, enduros, and like basically enduros through the woods. Like for anybody buying hunting and all that, I'm thinking of riding a walking trail for 60, 50 to 80 miles, and all that. So basically, you're out there 3 or 4 hours sometime, depending how fast you are. And I've always been a beginner rider, so all that. And good about that sport, enduros, you with beginner level to pro level, you can be lining up, so. And all that. So it's not like going to the Ford dealership, buy a car and show up to NASCAR. You can buy a bike from me, or back in the day, buy a bike and line up right next to the number one guy in the world in my sport.
That's awesome.
When I was in my teens, I used to race novice class 125 out here in Wisconsin at one of the tracks. It was a good time. I never got to really go anywhere with it, but now my daughter's into it. We started her out on a little Honda 50, and she outgrew that really fast. She was like, I need a faster bike. I can't get no jumps. And that,
I remember seeing the video of that.
Yeah. Now she's like right where she's in between like a 80 and a 125 size.
Or get KTM makes one, and I think some of the other people you can make big wheels. Like KTM 85s is the biggest model that all the Japanese models as far as size. But you can put, instead of 14-inch wheel, put a 16-inch wheel and put a 19 on the front, and it brings it down to like a small 125 almost.
Oh, really? Okay.
Big wheel. A lot of parents you couldn't stage, but man, you get certain guys. I met some of the number one guy in the world at one time was 5'5" or so. He was a short guy, he had to use starting blocks when he was a kid most of his life, take off because the bikes were so big and he was so small.
Yeah. See, I've been out of it so long, those KTMs are decent bikes.
Right. Yeah, that's probably the number one bike. Right now, they won the Supercross titles and all that in the last few years. They're probably one of the top teams right now.
I have to look into those.
So me and John, Nevermore Antiques, are having a conversation in the chat, and he said the only place he's ever raced is to the buffet. And I said, me too, John. He goes, we should race sometime. So can you see me and John like meeting up at the buffet, both wearing like GoPros, racing back and forth? That would be awesome.
See, they didn't have GoPros in my time of racing and all that. GoPros, they've been cool. When I used to go trail riding in like Colorado, we bought one of those little Instamatic cameras that, you went to the store and threw away type cameras. You carry like 3 or 4 of those cameras in your backpack so you can take pictures while you're, on trail.
Yeah.
A digital camera, you didn't even have digital cameras back then, really, back in the, late 90s, to carry on a trail with you. But, GoPros now, God, I would have that running nonstop.
Yeah, right.
For sure.
And what's crazy, one of the trails that I was riding, I'm not the exact trail, but it was showing a guy with a GoPro, and he went off the cliff because some of the cliffs are 200 foot to 1,000 foot down, and all that. If you go off, and I mean, he went off of it, you know, and it videotaped him hitting the river, and all that. Luckily, he survived it, you know.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, they're talking about the Golden Corral Tour of America. It's awesome.
I know. I seen that. I had to look away from the screen because I love me some Golden Corral.
Golden Corral 125 live on YouTube. It's right there. Although we could include Tommy, but it would have to be the Chinese buffet, right?
Well, see, we do a lot of Chinese buffet because that's Destiny and the kids' favorite. Well,
Yeah.
I don't mind some Chinese buffet, and it's closer for us. But if there was a Golden Corral closer to us, I don't know, man, because I'm all about that all you can eat steak and shrimp.
Oh, I hear you there, man. There's a casino in Pittsburgh right by the Steelers Stadium, and literally it's like the best buffet I've been to because it's like a buffet for like every type of food. You know, they have like an Italian, they have an American, they have a Chinese, like literally every type of ethnicity. They have like different like stations for it. So awesome.
I like buffets like that.
Yeah. Well, maybe when you come to Pittsburgh, we'll go to it.
That'd be cool.
It's a little bit on the expensive side, but it's worth it.
If it's worth it, I don't mind paying up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, garage sale's kind of winding down for y'all because it's getting cold and all that. Cause like down here, I mean, we could do it can almost do it 12 months a year, almost to one extent. You know, might have 1 or 2 a week at the most, but like I said, I mean, last week.
Yeah, here our garage sales they're done. They're not. It's not even in a wind down stage. It's just over. We might have, I think, like 2 church rummages that take place over winter that are indoor, but other than that, it's done. It's over.
Yeah. Now, if you know it's a good church sale and they got a lot of stuff, try to buy yourself way in there because I did it one time. I paid $25 to get in one, and it paid off because I had the whole place probably 30 minutes to my whole self.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
That was a big sale because when I passed by it, I mean, for weeks they had signs out on the side of the road. Hey, we're taking donations for like 2 or 3 months. And I know, and I've never been in that one particular one before, but when I passed by, I had a garage sale early in the morning, like 7 o'clock, came back. You know, the older lady walking across the street. I said, what would it take me to get inside? Would $25 get me in there? Let me go check. Old guy walks out and puts his thumb up, and I park it, you know, go in there, hand him $25. Say, can I get a receipt, please? You know, so I'm using it for a tax write-off and all that. But like I said, I had the place 30 minutes, to, you know, at least to myself.
That's a really good tip because I would have never thought of that myself.
Right. Especially if there was nobody else around because, you know, I didn't say, you know, I've done it before with people, you know, joking, hey, with $10, get me in early.
It's awesome. It's very smart strategy.
But there's some church sales I've been to, I know not to ask for it. You know, I might try to get there early, but this is one I've never been to, so I took a chance on it because I knew having a sign out for 3 months, they had good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's one in the next town over from us. That was about 25 minutes or something, and they have a church rummage twice a year.
Right.
And I kill it. I kill it every single time. We've been going there for the last 3 years. And if I could get a half-hour lead on everybody else, oh man, that would be worth 25, 40, 50 bucks even to me. Definitely gonna have to try that.
Yeah, Derek said he's going to 4 church bazaars this weekend. I would assume that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, basically same thing, I think.
DC Sales is asking where you'd like to source, Glenn.
Mainly garage sales, basically. You know, I mean, I pass like a thrift store every day, but I never stop at it hardly. You know, every once in a while I'll stop at it because it's got so much stuff. I'm running out of space, so until I can start. You know, I need to list stuff. Okay, my box, but I need to list more stuff. That's my problem. You know that, but I will go to a garage sale and buy something and list it that day. You know, because it's easy. It's like sealed. It might be sealed or something super easy, and I'll do it real quick. But a lot of times it goes to the money pile or death pile, as we call it. You know, because I got to clean it or test it or do something like that, or make it more presentable before I throw it up there. So it kind of sits there for a while. You know, like I said, I mean, if you saw past videos, man, I'm making enough money basically to pay for my groceries and different things like that until I can start really knocking out apart. I have bought certain items before and got lucky where if you saw in Patrick, I bought some toothbrushes, Oral-B toothbrushes, refills.
Yeah.
And I paid $20. And I think it was like 39 pieces or 35 pieces. So it came out to less than like 50 cents a piece or 30 cents a piece. Well, I made $1,700 off of that.
Nice.
So I averaged. So the refills that were selling like 45. I even took like offers sometime for 30 just to move it. But I was selling those refill packs for $45. Brushes for actually $80. And one of them I had to send the money back to one person because the batteries corroded. So they were 10 years old, so they put the batteries. Now some places put batteries on the outside now, and not in the actual product. And somebody actually emailed me one time and said, "Hey, can you open it up and check it because the batteries are known to corrode?" So I got lucky. I had 9 of them, and only one of them emailed me back and all that. But even if I refunded them all back, I would have still made money big time. I would have made say $1,000 and not $1,700.
Right.
After fees and all that, probably $1,200. And I wish I could find more stuff like that. And I passed it up. I didn't buy it until Sunday. It was there Friday. I would have paid full price Friday if I would have taken time to scan it and all that. I just saw them in the bathroom. And I went back Sunday and I scanned it at that time. And so I grabbed the estate lady real quick. Hey, I want to buy all of them. It would have added up to like $30. And I said, I'll give you 20.
Right.
And all that. And like I said, really, and I started listening to them that night, Get the door.
Yeah, I always try to think like
I'll be back.
I always try to think outside the box. Oh, you'll be back. But when I'm outsourcing, I'm always, if I'm not familiar with something, I'll always run it because I've surprised myself with things that I found for super duper cheap that turn out to be a good turnaround.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought everybody left me.
No, I was here. I'll show you what I'm working with. So I have these Funko Pops here. They all like tumbled down, and I was fixing them. I just didn't think you wanted to see my man cleavage while I did it. Yeah, so I'll still here.
Glenn had to run and take care of some business.
Yeah, I saw.
I'm sorry, a customer walked in. My mom's taking care of the boss.
So do you do any online sales through your business there?
Yeah, the eBay and just regular, telephones when the telephone rings. There might be a person because I send stuff to Washington State, all over the country. Used to, and with Facebook Marketplace, I've been selling stuff all over the world now.
Oh, wow.
And what it is, I get in certain groups. So if you buy like a certain type of coffee mug or something like that, and you get in that particular Facebook group on that particular item, and a lot of times they'll say, "I'm looking for this." So I'll take a picture of it and show me holding it and say, "Hey, I got one," and all that. And they'll contact me and say, "How much would it cost to send to Great Britain because of the fees and all that?" And one guy said, "Well, that's kind of expensive," and he called back a week later or emailed me, "Hey, I want that gas tank." And since he got it, he took a picture of it and put it on. "Hey, look what I found," bragging everybody because I was the only one in the world that had one at the time. That was new.
Wow. Nice.
Or even little washers, discontinue items that they don't make. I'll put a picture of it. Somebody's looking for it, take a picture of it, and let people know, "Hey, I got one if you need it." I'm working now with a guy in Australia right now on a whole bunch of discontinued parts, that he wants. And he saw me on Facebook.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be a really good line of business to be in, especially if you know that market.
Right. Well, to me, anything like if you find some old toys versus have it on Facebook, but get on the Facebook groups for that particular style of toys, and a lot of times you can post it, and those guys will buy it before the people I think on eBay would maybe, because you're dealing with a direct market,
Yep, for sure. So is it still nice? You still have nice weather down there, Glenn?
I'm not wearing a long sleeve. Last day, a couple of days ago, but it's supposed to get 39 to Saturday morning.
Okay.
Then like 29 next week, but it goes back up in the 70s and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I know you and Lonnie are pretty close, like in proximity.
Yeah, about 15 miles apart.
50 miles, you say?
15.
15. Okay.
Maybe that, about 15.
Do you guys ever get together and like?
We have a couple of years ago, hit lunch after a couple of garage sales. But like I said, every once in a while I'll see him at a garage sale, but we really don't talk that much.
Gotcha. I wasn't sure. I know I've seen him
Right.
come to your. I don't know if you considered it.
When I did that garage sale at the storage unit, he showed up. Cobbs actually had it doing live and all that, and somebody said, "Hey, he's on the way," Look out, and here he comes. I'm holding the camera up, and he's holding his camera up.
Yeah, for sure.
We're on YouTube live and both on our own channels. I think that was last year, like around March or so.
Yeah. I remember watching that because I was watching you live at the time.
Right. And that was before the 1,000 deal too. Before before eBay, YouTube said, "Hey, you got to have 1,000 subs." That was before that.
Yeah. I've heard some people say that there's a way around that, but I really don't know enough about OBS and the different programs to really figure that out.
Yeah, I've used it and played with the OBS app on my phone, and it's worked. It did drive my phone hard though. I mean, it makes it hot if you're gonna do like a long stream. Like I tried doing a flea market walk with it, and it was hot in the summer, and then that really drove my phone's temperature up. But it does work.
Yeah. Does anybody? I mean, maybe you two or even somebody in the chat could steer me in the right direction. I'm looking for some kind of a mount for my iPhone because we want to live stream at Disney next month, and I'm believing that we're going to hit 1K before then because we're like in the 40s of what we need. So you guys aren't subscribed yet that are here in the chat, make sure you click that subscribe button, help me get there. But I need to find something I can hook my phone to, so that way, you know what I mean, I don't have to worry about holding it. It'd just be like wearing the GoPro and taking it.
What I found best for when I wanted to use my phone, and I've done some recordings, is I just put it in the shirt pocket, and the pocket comes to like right here, man, and it films perfectly.
Oh, that's cool.
It was the cheapest, easiest one I found.
Make something with Velcro and put this little Velcro patch in the back of the phone and put the other part of the Velcro in your, maybe
it would stabilize it even more.
That way, you just put it on your chest, or something like that, or have a strap or something.
And I did it that way because, I kind of feel funny walking around with a camera. People look at you like, what's he doing? Why is he filming? But if you just have a phone in your pocket sticking out, nobody thinks twice about it.
Right.
Yeah. See, in public places like that, I really have no shame in filming. Because there's people like walking around vlogging all the time there and stuff like that. But my problem is like if I put it in a pocket and I'm at Disney, it's going to be drenched like within the hour. Because I'm a large buddy man.
But do you scope out like Craigslist and all that for garage sales as far as studying the pictures and all that before you go to that garage sale or estate sale?
That's a good idea, D. What was that, Glenn?
Like studying the pictures like the week before for garage sales that are coming up.
I try to, yeah.
Because I scored big time, doing that, like I said, I don't like too much because one person told me when the estate people was watching one of the videos and all that, but I got there like 1 o'clock they were giving out numbers at 2. I got there like at 1 o'clock, and there were people there already ahead of me wanting to get numbers. And then when I walked up, I said, "Are you here for the same thing I'm here for?" And they kind of looked at each other and said, "Yeah, probably." And all that. And as soon as they walked into that room, they went for another item. I went for that particular item, grabbed it, paid $10 for it. And they had other items in there, so a lot of 4 items, 3 items, counting the main item I bought and all that. So far, I'm around $1,800 on that $10. And they didn't know whether they had their experts look at everything in there. I'm glad their expert didn't know about this. But what's fun, when I went up there, they didn't have the price, and the main guy, which I dealt with, cell phone, he's looking it up. And I'm going, oh my God, please don't find it. Don't look at sold. Because I came prepared to pay up for it. I came prepared $400 for it, And he was like, I don't see nothing, $10. So I grabbed it real quick and got out of there and all that. But it poured in. It was like one of the worst rain days in Baton Rouge in like probably 10 years or something like that. So I'm in the garage looking for Tupperware because it's a cardboard box. And I said, what can I buy in here? I said, I want this. And I didn't want to wait in line again. So I gave the guy $2. And you gonna pay for me? One of the outside helpers put it in that. So when I got it, it wouldn't get wet. Because if it would have got wet, you know, the value of it went down.
So I got a question for you guys. If you're at like a rummage or a flea market or a thrift store or something, and there's another reseller there, and you know it's obvious they're a reseller, and you see them comp something, pick something up, look at it, run it on their phone, or you see them scan it, and they set it back down.
It's up.
You don't know that you're not familiar with that item. Do you go and check it out and run it yourself, or do you feel, well, they already ran it, it's not worth nothing?
They missed something. Somebody can miss something, you know, because he didn't put a certain word in right.
Yeah, I still
You
check.
find out what it's worth, I mean, it's up for grabs because he didn't take it. You know, he didn't. No, I'm not going to invade his territory. If it's somebody like I'm coming up to you, somebody say you're in my same area, I'm not going to go up next to you and tag you. You know, I'm gonna wait till you kind of get on the other side, you know, and all that. But you know,
I've like low key stopped somebody before to watch for them put stuff back.
Yeah, I'll run it too, because plus everybody's got a different margin that they're looking for. You know, maybe his margin of acceptance is higher than mine. You know.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of resellers at the one Goodwill I go to, and I've actually made videos where like they're going through cleaning everything out, and I still leave with like a whole big bag full of stuff, just because they sell different types of items than I do.
Right.
Well, when was the first time you got made? I mean, did people how many times have you been recognized? Hey, you're that guy on YouTube. Once?
Just once, yeah. It was at a Rogers flea market, actually. I was setting up, and somebody came up behind me and said, "Hey, why aren't you filming today?"
Right.
And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, you're Picksburgh, aren't you?"
Right. I think I've been so far like 3 or 4 times. One of them's Thrift Raider, which she has a YouTube channel she does sometime. Another guy, Brett. He has a full-time job, so far he just does a swipe picking and like a lot of time hanging out in chat, stuff like that. Doesn't have a YouTube channel and all that. No, I think about a month ago I got recognized, you know, and all that. You know, somebody I didn't recognize and all that or knew, and he said, "Hey, you're that guy on YouTube." Yeah, that's me. But he watched Lonnie. He knew all those guys there too, you know.
Yeah.
I ain't never been recognized.
It's because you're always in the dungeon.
Right. I don't get out much.
You will be, though.
Right.
Whenever you blow up and you're worldwide.
Right.
We had a bunch of people jump in. Just want to say hello to
Donatello.
Yep, Donatella's here.
Nyla.
Yep. Who else is here? T's in here. Myra's here. Aaron Marcus. He's been here for a while. I've been chatting with him in the chat a little.
John from Dad's Vintage Garage.
Yep. Bluegrass Picker is in the house. Frenchie's here, the real Stitch. David Rubino. What's going on, man? He was asking if I like the GoPro 7. Either that or somebody else. I do like it. It does everything I need, you know, because I make reseller content, so I don't really need anything super fancy. But yeah, I do like it. Blackberry Thistle T is in the house. Harry Humstone, good to see you.
Yeah, I want to get me a GoPro, but I think they're so pricey. I mean, using a cell phone, all I need right now.
Janae's here. Patreon Pirate, what's up, man? Good to see you. I was watching his stream yesterday. He does a lot of like trading cards and stuff like that. And I'm always looking to learn more about the sports cards since I've been out of them for so long. But I make tons of money on the Pokemon cards, so I've been watching his stuff a little bit.
Yeah, I bought a box of Pokemon cards, I guess, but a couple months ago for $1. I said, well, heck, not for $1, you know, I'll buy them, take a chance. A shoebox full. I'll take a chance, you know. But I haven't even went through them yet, you know. You hope there's just one in there to pay for the $1, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, he has a ton of cameras. He just sold his Hero 5. Yeah, I know a local Pittsburgh guy who does content. His name's Mark. He has a channel called Going Twice. That's what he uses, is a GoPro Hero 5. Yes, Lisa, we definitely need that live footage from Disney. My wife will be like in her glory if we were like, because that's like her favorite thing to watch is the people that walk around and live stream the Disney parks. So like she'll be like in her element doing that. Yep. Actually, I learned of Resort TV 1 from somebody in the chat months ago, and I told Ash about it, and it's like one of her favorite channels now. She'll watch them like Friday nights. They do all their live streams. Yeah, she watches them more than she watches me.
Hey, Michelle.
That would be awesome. I'd really appreciate that. Gate City Picker, what's up, my man? Good to see you. Okay, that's what Chris is using too, the GoPro Hero 5. Chris, dude, I want to have you on the show one day. Let me know what your schedule's looking like. I don't know how many people know Old School Picker, but he's reasonably new, from what I understand, to content creating. But he makes really good videos. I've really enjoyed what I've seen of him so far. So if you aren't subbed to him, make sure you do. Make sure you're also subbing to our guest too, because Glenn is taking time out of his work day to be here with us and just share some knowledge with us. Is there anybody that has questions for Glenn in the chat? Anything you'd like to know? Like I said, he's a wealth of knowledge. Definitely gained something from this time with him this morning.
Are y'all's Goodwill starting to get more savvy there as far as how they price and stuff? Or
yeah,
I guess with Goodwill.com, they tell them, the corporate tell them, hey, if you come across something, don't even put it out on the floor. Send it to us.
Yeah.
You know.
So, I don't know if it's released yet, but I recorded a video, I think last week. And basically, it was the Goodwill that used to be my honey hole. And now it's like, it's dried up. It sucks. Like I barely buy stuff there. I got to catch them slipping to basically get any kind of like decent deal, because they're pricing so close to eBay there now. It's like insane. It's like they hired a reseller to like come in and ruin it for everybody.
Like I know, like I said, most of my better finds have been clothing, really. You know, I found some carpenter's pants, you know, kind of like from Germany. Different jackets. You know, one jacket I found was made by Spider, like a high-end weather jacket. But I kept it for myself. It fit me, so I'm keeping it for, you know, I think retails from around me like $160 to $200.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm gonna keep this for myself, you know.
Yeah, my Goodwill doesn't really do video games either. Occasionally, you'll see like a pickle, you know, Madden 2002, or you know what I mean, something that like you would pass up anyway.
Are your Goodwill starting to get more like Dollar General stuff? I meant like kitchen gizmos and sheets and all that, and towels.
It just depends. I mean, sometimes
I'm talking about the brand new stuff, like, you know, like a Dollar General would. You know, they starting to get more of that. I noticed in the last few months.
I see both Goodwills that are near my house like have drastically different inventory.
Right.
So I would say the one that is kind of like crappy now, they have more of that stuff. I'll notice more like bulk brand new items being brought into there more so than the other one. The other one, believe it or not, one of the employees in the back is a reseller.
Right.
So what I've heard is he'll come and he'll put, because it has to actually touch the shelf before anybody can buy it or anything with Goodwill. So he'll come, put the thing on the shelf, and then just put it back in his cart and cherry pick stuff. But I catch him slipping there all the time, and that's the one that has like the 50-cent plush. So like I literally have made a killing just buying plush there for 50 cents, turn around and sell them for like $20, $30.
Now, your Goodwill's like brand new buildings, or basically like in strip malls or old buildings?
The one that used to be my honey hole was built specifically for Goodwill.
Okay.
But the other one I go to was basically just put into a strip mall.
Yeah.
It used to actually they used to run it out of an old roller skating rink.
Wow.
And then they tore down the roller skating rink, so they moved like bilateral over to strip mall.
Yeah, but a lot of people realize
too.
Goodwill is a big business. Like the ones down here, only one of them is in an old strip mall or old mall. Like, but the rest, probably 4 of them there is.
Mhm.
Prime property and probably $1 million buildings, I'm guessing, or I'm not sure, or $500,000 buildings. I mean, because they're all on like prime property. You know, the average person couldn't afford. You know, this would be a big business. You know, like car dealership type. You know, locations and different things like that.
Yeah.
And all that. You know, so that's big business. It's about making good. They got the right name. You know, people think they get in their inventory 90% of it free, or 99.
Yeah.
You know.
So we have a few questions in the chat. First one was from Harry. He says, what do you guys collect? Is there anything you guys collect?
Clocks, I guess. I got some I never sold. I kind of just keep them in my living room, like the metal clocks. You know, that's the first item I ever found. But I haven't found a clock in about 3 years. You know.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 1900, 1925, 1940s. I got like 3 of them just sitting there, kind of, you know, and all that. But and little knickknacks. I got like a armoire or something in my living room, and it's a little like vast bottle, old medicine bottle, or a little trinket deal. I can buy it for $1.50. I'll let them buy it and just throw it in there.
And I collect. I only have like 2 collections, and they're not enormous. They're growing, but one is the Fantasia Mickey Mouse. Pretty much anything with the Fantasia Mickey, and then presidential memorabilia, and really dominantly by anything JFK related.
Nice. Yeah, for me, I collect Nintendo stuff. I try to collect at least one of every system. The only one I don't have is the Virtual Boy, and it's just because of the price. I'm trying to find one in the wild. That's one of my like unicorns out there. You know what I mean? When I come across somebody that has a Virtual Boy for like $5 to $10, that's what I'm looking for. And I purposely haven't allowed myself to spend the $200-300 on it, just because I know one day I'm going to stumble across one, and it's just going to be like a glorious day. But I collect all the games I like to play in as a kid. I still really enjoy playing like the newer stuff, but like the retro cart-based stuff is like just, that's where it's at for me. Like I love retro video games. I can actually even refurbish some of those older games and systems and stuff like that. And I'll actually buy bulk. Like, for example, I bought like 20 Sega Genesis that were just considered like for parts. And I fixed them all up. You know, I got all but like one fixed. And I think I still got like 4 or 5 that are ready to sell right now. But yeah, so like old video games would be kind of what I'm into collecting. I also just recently started recollecting like the old Power Ranger figures from when I was a kid, like the flip head ones. And I got all of those. I just ordered them all off of Mercari. But other than that, like there's not a whole lot. I mean, I've collected like Steeler jerseys, but I had to sell off most of my collection whenever I went through seminary, just to like afford it and stuff. So I haven't really beefed it back up yet. But yeah, Nintendo stuff is like my favorite stuff to collect.
So I never got into video. I never played video games as a kid. I had like Atari, the basic Atari when everybody bought it, and I bought an extra game like Blackjack. The games back then even back cost $25 back in the late 70s.
Yeah.
They were expensive back then. So man, I never really got into it. You know, I bought a Game Boy last week. I sent you a picture, Anthony.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that, but I did. They had $5 and I offered $3 for it, you know, and it powered on. So I need to figure out how it works, you know. No. When we get to Lisa, she asked a question about box cutter. This is the ultimate one you got to get.
Oh, I love that one.
You know,
I don't have it, but
resale killers and all that. Yeah, I bought this one when they're doing like buy it and give the money from like a donation deal.
Yeah,
about a year ago.
I'm always jealous of that whenever I see people with those. I basically just bought this one local because it was black and yellow. Yeah. I invest in things that are black and yellow.
Pittsburgh colors. At least we got at least Bradshaw's from Louisiana.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. DC Sales is asking, do you ever part things out rather than sell items whole?
I actually had an item back here, but I found a food processor, and the older ones do better. You know, I guess with the container, the blade, the little motor top, you know, you can get like $20 just for that, you know, more than you can for the whole item.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done the same.
Big time too. Certain coffee pots, you know, you can break it down and get, you know, $50 and $60 for it versus selling it for, you know, for the whole thing. Plus, it goes into first class when you start breaking it down like that, so it's cheap to send it.
Yeah, I've been doing that a lot with like computers and stuff.
Right.
Breaking them down, you know what I mean, and selling each part separately. And there's so much more money in a computer like this than it is like actually put together. So
I got like 4 old computers that, you know, whenever next door I need to break down and figure out, you know, what I can sell on them, you know, part out.
Yeah, the nice thing too is most of them have like little labels telling you what they are.
Yeah.
So like, because I wouldn't know what the heck most of the stuff is in there, but there's like labels on most of the stuff saying what exactly type of part it is, so it helps you find it on eBay.
Right.
Myra wants to know, how many listings do you have? What platforms do you use and why?
Do like Poshmark, started doing that. Mainly I got into that basically about a little bit over a year ago. Doing like live shows like something like this, and Lauren, whatever. Hot Fish Posh. I can't pronounce her name exactly, but it's Lauren. And me, Andy, and a couple other guys were in there and all that. And she said, all you guys that are selling clothes on eBay need to do Poshmark. And all that. And Andy, I think, is killing it with Poshmark. He is, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen his store. He takes some of the best pictures there is, and all that. And all that, you know. But heck, I guess she got about 5 or 6 of us in doing the Posh, you know. I'm not killing it, but I'm, you know, doing okay. I mean, I sold a briefcase for like over close to $300.
Wow.
You know, and all that. I found it for $2, and I had it on eBay forever, and put it on Poshmark. Some guy offered me some certain amount of money, and the offer was like $250 or $300 I took, because it still had the plastic on the clasp and all that, you know. And all that. Then, like I said, I do like Facebook Marketplace, which I kind of hate doing. Only thing good about me is I can tell them to come into my work, because I don't have to worry about meeting them somewhere. I stopped doing that because it's just too much trouble and all that. And then no shows. And like I said, eBay, I got an eBay platform for my personal and eBay for my work. And let go and offer up, things like that.
How about you, Tommy?
I don't have as much as I should. Right now, I think I was just in there too, 300 and some listings, but I have almost as much over on Mercari. I did do Poshmark. We pulled all our stuff off of Poshmark because it just seemed like it took a lot of babysitting and it ate up a lot of time that I'd rather invest in the eBay. But now I hear, and I don't know if it's because of all the issues with eBay lately or Poshmark's just really starting to take off, but I hear people are doing really well. So now I'm starting to reconsider it. We didn't close our store. We just removed everything.
Well, like what you call it, Michelle put her name Lauren Hot Trip, but the Lauren, I mean, paid basically for a summer cabin for doing all the Poshmark stuff, you know, or second home. Basically paid for that.
Wow, that's awesome.
You know, but I know sharing. I did it last night and all that. They did a live show. It was like these 4 women, which if I could do, I would like to find like 4 or 5 guys to do it, because I'm sitting around like dipping hot wings instead of cheese and crackers and all that. But you know, nominate your city type deal for them to do the auction. So I get Baton Rouge and all that. But for some reason last night I got 3 host picks last night. You know, I just started sharing stuff real quick during the show. 3 of my items got picked for host picks, whatever, which I don't know exactly how that works, you know. And people, you know, about 100 people congratulated me. Hey, congratulations on your host pick, you know.
Nice. Yeah, so I'd say, to answer Myra's question, right now I'm sitting at 1172 as far as listings. That's on eBay, which is my primary platform. Amazon's quickly becoming my secondary, which has been Mercari. I basically just use Mercari to kind of cross post from eBay, and I do use Poshmark to cross post as well. But Poshmark, I was just telling Glenn before we started, it's been kind of like the low man on the totem pole, so it doesn't get very much love from me. Every once in a while, I'll go in there and share my stuff or add a thing, like a piece of clothing over on there. But for the most part, most of my sales are coming from either eBay or Mercari. I'm still brand new into Amazon, so I don't, I might have had 4 sales so far in there, but that's just because like my stuff is still being shuffled around between warehouses and whatnot, and trying to figure out if I source smart yet or not. So, yeah, eBay's the primary. 1172 is where I'm at right now, and that always fluctuates anywhere from like 1,000 to 1,400, just depending on how much stuff I can list, depending on how I'm feeling or whatnot.
Yeah, I think I got around 125 in my personal and around 700, 650 in my bike store. But like I said, I just sold these on Poshmark.
Nice.
And all that, and I got the other shoes, which I was showing you. I'm waiting for him to reply back,
Yeah, for sure.
Spoke on some shoes last week. I sold, so far counting that, probably 6 pairs of shoes between eBay and Poshmark. What's good about Poshmark too, about their shipping, like those shoes right there. These are big shoes here, size 11.5. That's gonna depend. If it goes to Washington State, you're probably going to pay, I'm guessing, $12 for that or more shipping for priority. Poshmark, they pay for it, and it's what, $7.25 and all that. So that's one thing good about Posh on big items up to 5 pounds. It's a flat rate.
So Frenchie's asking questions. Says everybody says how bad RA sourcing is in Florida. I have really good luck there when RA sourcing. Do you have any issues with RA sourcing? I go to Florida every year, typically to Orlando to take my wife to Disney, and we always come back with at least one suitcase full of stuff to resell. So I have not had any issues with RA in Orlando. But I will give you a tip. If you're into reselling Disney stuff or even getting cheap Disney souvenirs, they have what's known as character warehouses. They're in like outlet malls, and you basically get stuff that came from the actual parks there for like 75% off. Basically, once they're rotating their inventory at the parks, they send everything to their character warehouses, and there's 2 of them in Orlando. So me and Ashley hit both of those pretty heavily, and they do limit you though on what you can't, like how much you can buy. So we always have to check out separately there, and then we'll go to both of them, and then maybe we'll hit them if there's enough good stuff, hit them multiple days as well. So that's something that you need to be mindful of. They do you can't just back up a truck and just take all their inventory. Any of you guys have any issues with RA? I don't know if you've ever been to Florida or even like RA in your area.
Yeah, I don't even do RA, like Retrail Arbitrage. Like I don't do eBay, but a lot of time people do RA just for eBay. You can do it,
Yeah, I've done quite a bit of RA for eBay. Now I'll start doing it since recently being approved for Amazon. But I've always researched, like I say, I think I was telling you and Nate the other day, for the last 1.5 years, I've always scanning with the Amazon app. I don't feel I'm going to have any troubles with RA sourcing.
Well, like the toothbrush deals I was talking about, refills. I started when I go to the store, I was looking for them to see maybe if they left them on the shelf, because it's been over 5 years. But I think if you went to a lot of mom and pop grocery stores, those were the places you would find it, the whole inventory, I think, versus the Albertsons and the bigger CVSs. So if you went to those mom and pops that said, hey, they never sold, and you ask them, hey, you got any more of these in the back?
Yeah, we have like a discount store here in town on Main Street, and I probably should go in there a whole lot more than I do, because every time I go in there, it's like she must buy liquidation or something, because she sells a lot of discontinued stuff.
Right.
That's been discontinued for a while, really, really cheap. And I really don't know why I haven't taken advantage of that.
Right.
and I probably should now that I'm in Amazon. I mean, I don't know if that would be risky buying and sending in to Amazon from there or not. But.
You know, like I said, those things I sent, you know, like the batteries, if all of them would have quoted, that would have hurt. You know, if I was sending those on Amazon, that would have hurt me versus just the regular retail packs.
Right.
And all that, because those would have even got me more money on Amazon if I was doing Amazon. You know, instead of $40, they might have got me 50 plus. But why people would pay $45 for a 15-pack refills that you only can use a couple times and throw them in the garbage? You know, it's not like they last, you know, forever, which I couldn't understand, but people were buying them.
There's another group here, Tommy, I want to have on the show sometime, Reselling Addicts. You guys should get a hold of me. I'd love to schedule you guys to come on sometime.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I want to get John on too, Nevermore Antiques. I think
Perlini asks, how do you tell it's RA? If you buy it from a retail environment, it's RA. RA stands for retail arbitrage. So it's basically going to a retail store, buying something that you're going to flip.
Yeah. They also have OA too. I'm sure most of you guys know that, but it's just online arbitrage. Like, for example, last night, Nate, Everyday Hustlin, sent me a bolo that was being sold on Walmart's website. And it was something that we could, send into Amazon and make some money on. So that'd be considered online arbitrage. We went in there and bought up some stuff to resell. I'm just scrolling through. I'm behind on chat because I wanted to make sure everybody's questions got answered.
Yeah, put a couple question marks in front of your question. That way we can spot it quicker too.
Yep, that helps it stand out.
Yeah. And use live chat up at the top and not top chat, you know, which I learned that a while back.
Yeah. Paul makes a good point here. There's a certain product in every thrift store that resale just walk by because they don't know that you can part out a $5 item and make 50 to 60. Absolutely. Especially with like the kitchen appliances. I've walked by so many of them and like the processors or whatever, just thinking, okay, well, that's junk. And I've had people actually comment like, hey, you can actually sell each one of those for like triple what they're asking.
Well, when I was in Tennessee at the Tennessee meetup, me, Harlan, and Scott went the Goodwill bins. That's the first time I've ever been, and I found a little food processor, one of the mini ones. Like the cord was cut, all that. So heck, I could sell everything on there. So I grabbed the whole thing. So when I'm waiting in line, that motor weighs a lot, and I can't use it. So I just took everything off of it. And told Harlan, hey, can you throw this back in the bins? I just took the top part and probably paid 10 cents for that, and all that. And I probably should be able to get hopefully about $15 to $19.95 for it,
Right.
But same thing at a garage sale. If you see like the buckets and all that, if they're all trash, just buy it and chunk it in the garbage, or just take it off there. Say, hey, I don't want the whole food price. I want part of it. I'll just pay the full $10, whatever, or $5 or $1, and just take the pieces off of it.
Thanks for sharing that, Michelle. I'll have to look that up. Is that Arendelle? Is that like Frozen? I'm pretty sure. Is that where they live? I'll have to look that up. So Lisa says she does RA around her. She's in Florida, small time, and she does quite well. Since I've been doing Amazon more and more, I've been doing a lot more RA. The way I typically do RA, it has been seasonal for me. I've been hitting it hard during the winters, just because there's no yard sales or anything like that around a source. Like, for example, last year I probably made $2,000 to $3,000 just buying shoes at Ross Dress for Less. Just in 1 to 2 hauls. because I'd go and I'd get 2-3 parts worth whenever they do their markdowns.
Have you ever watched Glenn? He spells this Glen, the guy in Texas that does the Rosses and all that.
I don't know if I have or not.
He's been on the Gary Vee show actually before. He got invited on that, but he goes to Dress for Less, Ross, all those guys, and all he does is buy shoes. That's what basically 99% of his business is shoes. Glenn, I can't pronounce his last name. If somebody knows it, put it in there in the chat. Glenn Uzalki, whatever. I know he's kind of Spanish, whatever. But I met him at the Green Room a couple of years ago. But that's all he does. He does a live show once a week, usually around Wednesday, about 9 o'clock or so. I can't remember the exact time, but he's big in his shoes. And buys them like all the discount stores and that.
So DC Sales is asking, do you guys source from tourist attractions or theme parks? I do all the time. Like I said, the Character Warehouse is like, it's essentially the honey hole down there for us, because Ash knows Disney stuff like left and right. And she knows what stuff is supposed to sell for. So we can go there and she'll be like, here, this is like 90% off. You need to buy all of these and put them on eBay, So that's, it's good being somewhere in that atmosphere with somebody who's kind of like an expert on that kind of stuff. But yeah, we try to source everywhere we go, regardless of it being Disney or anywhere else. If there's a good deal and something I can comp and make money on, I definitely buy it.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. I said his handle is Hustler Hacks.
Oh, I have watched him then. Yeah, I actually my pastor sent me a link to his channel.
Oh, cool.
That's actually how I found him. John says RA means really awful for him. It just takes a while, man. You got to scan a lot of stuff. Yes, Walmart's a great place to source for Disney when you're down in Orlando.
Hey, Jody.
Because they have like entire Disney sections there. We've actually even gotten souvenirs for people at the Walmart rather than in the store, just because it's so much cheaper.
Jim and Tara made it in.
What's up, Jim and Tara?
So how many people we got in here watching?
Looks like we have 45 live with us right now.
Cool.
Like cycle.
My wife still gets mad at me for scanning everything at Walgreens. Speaking of Walgreens, here's a tip for you guys. Check into your local Walgreens, because here in Pittsburgh, there's a couple closing next week, and the savings there are insane. Like I just put together a video of stuff that I bought. It's probably going to drop next week, but check your Walgreens, because there's definitely some deals to be had if any of them are closing.
Hey, Nate, you finally made it.
Yeah, I slept in.
Oh, man.
That's why you had a morning beard.
My wife just came over and was like, we slept in. I'm like, what? And I was like, just jumped out of bed. So I'm here.
Sorry.
Yeah, no big deal. Just don't be late on Wednesday.
No.
Better set 2 alarms.
2, 6. Those are coming from everywhere.
And then you're going to get throat chopped by your wife.
Okay.
How's everyone today?
Doing good.
Okay. You want us to ship
Hey,
it to
Derek.
you?
I was doing some late night online arbitrage last night.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him.
Okay.
I didn't give away the product or anything, so don't worry. But yeah, it's like Nate was up scouring the interwebs for some deals.
Okay.
Where you do like 2 o'clock in the morning, like Scott Bitter Picker does it.
Thank you, Dave. Bye-bye.
I was at work at I was about to leave, and I was like, I want to see if this product is still available. So I looked, And then I'm like, wow, it's on sale. And yeah, I just ordered some, and I'm like, I wonder what else might be on sale or something. So I was looking and looking and looking. Didn't really find anything. So
I see where Steven Stoggin's got a new name, and before it was just Steven Stoggin, now it's S&S Bargain Barn.
Yeah. So Reselling Addicts is doing their first live today.
Right.
So if you guys would go and support them, I'm pretty sure he said it was at 5 o'clock.
Okay, so it's gonna be
PM.
Central Time.
Yeah, it'd probably be 4 o'clock your time.
Okay.
So if anybody is available at that time, please go and show them some love and support. I know what it's like to go live for the first time. You know, I went with Derek. Derek had to pretty much carry me through it.
Yeah.
Lynn is saying, well, I've seen and heard people score at the Dollar Tree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I actually had Amazon get a hold of me because they wanted me to go buy more stock from the Dollar Tree.
yeah, I
What
mean,
got you into doing the live videos, Anthony?
What's that?
What made you do your first live video?
Well, I hit 100, and
Okay.
back then it was like, I don't know if it's still the case, but until I had 100, I wasn't able to do any lives.
Mhm.
And I'd been watching the community, and I really, really liked the live aspect of it.
Yeah.
I like to have a good mix because I enjoy the pre-recorded stuff too.
Yeah.
So I said in several videos, once we hit 100, I'm going to do my first live.
Right.
And you know, I ended up inviting Derek to come on and kind of be my Mr. Miyagi for it.
Yeah. I think I had probably close to 300. I'm not sure exactly, but I mainly got into it because I was in the side chats, and everybody, you know, had a name. I didn't have a name yet, you know that, and everybody was like, picker this, picker that. So I'm in Louisiana. I'll go Cajun picker, swamp picker. So I put swamp picker and all that. But then I was in a show, a live show or something, and Cincinnati John and Cincinnati Picker kind of called me out and said, hey, you need to start doing, you know, live shows, you know, or do shows, period, you know. Not that, my first show wasn't live, but, you know, it was recorded and all that. And I just started doing live shows. It's so much easier. So I started, but back in March of 16 or so, you know, he called me out and I did it. So I started doing shows because of him, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I like both. The thing I like the most about the live shows, you can actually interact with the people that are watching,
Right.
and you can kind of get to know people a little bit better.
Right.
So I really enjoy that aspect. Eric Bischoff's asking if Amazon. You all right?
Hey, Rusty Raccoon's in here. Hey, Tony.
Hey Tony, what's up, man?
Follow around.
He's asking if my shipments are available yet in any sales. I've had, as of last night, 4 sales. Only one of my shipments is ready, and they didn't even really release the whole thing. So I'm hoping for an explosion once the other couple, only 4 sales so far. Once the other couple kind of get released, and I'm working on another one being sent in.
Yeah, I know my sales were like super slow, and I was watching Tommy Bernard. I guess he was about, you know, like a live working show, and he was touching everything, basically changing prices, I guess. So I decided to do it. Heck, I had like 3 or 4 sales the next day after doing that, you know, just changing it and dropping it a penny, or I need to drop it a couple of dollars, or, you know, just different things in there. And I did that, you know. I had 3 or 4, like I said, 3 or 4 sales within a couple of days, you know.
I still haven't opened my shipment yet for Amazon.
That sucks.
It's been sitting there for
Reselling
2
Addicts
days.
is asking, how do you get around gating? I swear I've tried before and it seems to be gated and everything. What I've done is I've started with like the home goods, the food, like those type of items that most people are ungated in. But what I've found is, as far as getting around it, you need to buy stuff from a manufacturer and send in like some kind of a slip that, you know, you are buying from a manufacturer. Nate might know a little bit more than me, but I haven't really tried that route yet. I probably will at some point, but right now I'm just trying to get the gist of what that is and how to get around that.
Yeah, you got to get invoices from wholesale distributors that are approved by Amazon, which there should be a ton of them. But just make sure that they're approved before you put your order in. I'm sure there's a list that Amazon can give you, and either that or you can get a letter stating that you're allowed to sell their products.
Yeah. And Lynn was asking about Ross's markdown days. Every Monday they do markdowns. If you can get in with an employee there, that would be ideal, because they don't do the same category every Monday and they do it at different times. That way resellers can't just show up and like hound them. Like at my Ross's, you can tell that there's resellers there, because sometimes they'll even just be sitting in their car waiting and watching the employees inside the thing. And sometimes they'll just be sitting around in there kind of waiting for the markdowns. But yeah, they do a different category every Monday. And sometimes it's super deep markdowns. Like, for example, I bought in shoes there for 49 cents, turn around and flipped them for $30, $40. All brand new stuff.
Hey guys, I need to wrap this up, or like I said, you don't have to end the show, but I might listen, whatever. But like I said, I need to, like I said,
I appreciate you being in here.
No,
For sure.
Guys, if you haven't already, please go and subscribe to Glenn. I'm going to grab his, his link is down below in the description.
Yeah.
So make sure you just click there and go and subscribe to his channel and show him some love for being here today.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Then like Facebook, I go by Glenn Gillespie on there, and all that. So, and all that, and YouTube Swamp Picker.
Cool. Yeah, definitely go and connect with them, guys.
Like I said, I'm on Instagram too, Instagram and Twitter and all that. So I'm not sure exact name, Swamp Picker or something like that. Dashing, dash this, dash that,
Yeah, for sure. But I really appreciate it, Glenn.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Inviting me on here too.
Anytime, man. You're always welcome.
That. Well, I'm gonna take off and just listen and all that, and try to do some stuff around here.
Yeah, that
Okay,
sounds
appreciate
good,
it,
man.
man.
I'll talk with you later.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Later, bud.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, man.
I'm going to try to just answer some more of these questions, and then we can wrap it up after that. Peddling Profits is asking, what's your best advice to newbies? I'm not sure if you're talking about Amazon or just reselling in general, but your smartphone's your best friend either way, regardless if it's eBay, Amazon, any other platform. If you're not sure if you can flip the item, scan it. If it doesn't have a scanner, try to figure out how to describe it and look it up. And the most important thing is sold comps, because you want to make sure that not only is it selling, but how quickly is it selling? You know what I mean? Like, you might have, say, 100 listings and like 2 sold comps. Like, for me at this point, I'd pass on that, but early on I would have bought it. But Amazon wise, what I'm looking for is, can I at least double my money, and is the ranking good? And honestly, a lot of times Nate's still holding my hand, so I'll just ask him. So
most important thing is the ranking, because if the item doesn't sell, it doesn't even matter how much the profit is. So it's knowing the categories, it's understanding what basically the trends of the seasons are sometimes. That's why I use Keepa. I pay that $17 a month or whatever. It's very valuable to someone starting out to understand and protect yourself of what's been selling, what maybe something just kind of died off, or if you find an awesome deal, you can go deep on it and be basically protected into a pretty good purchase versus taking a guess or whatever. So I always recommend using that until you really understand Amazon and really know the gist of it.
Nice. Derek said he found some Pokemon cards for me. Sounds good, man. I'll have to check those out.
Hey, flipping crazy.
Yeah, I'm a little bit behind in the chat, but thank you, Tony, for posting this. Yeah, only 46 more subs to go till I get to 1,000, guys. So if you could hit that subscribe button, it would totally help me out. It would make for a very happy wife, and if they say happy wife, happy life, because I've already promised her we're gonna live stream those Disney parks. So I'm gonna make it happen, even if I have to go around asking people to sub to me at Disney. And I really don't want to do that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome when doing lives from Disney.
Not sure if you were talking to me, Glenn, Tommy, or Nate, but I am on Instagram. I have my Instagram handle in the description. It's just Picksburgh74.
Yep, and I'm on Instagram as well, and the Bargain Effect. You'll find the Bargain Effect everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
My Instagram is Everyday I'm Hustling Reseller.
Myra, thank you for sharing that. I'm assuming that's for Reseller Addicts for their first ever live stream.
So. I wish I could be there for it. I'm gonna be at work.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best. I know my wife has plans for us today, so I'm gonna try my best to be home. If not, I'll try listening on the go.
I'll try and pop in. I'll try and go on lunch around then. Today's my Friday at work. I'm so happy to be done with it this week. And this person bought this item for me and it's sitting waiting payment for 2 days. It was a good flip too.
I love it. Every day I'm vaping. What up, Nate Dog? That's awesome. Yeah, D says it's marathon time. I don't know if my back has a marathon in me, but definitely not opposed to, as Tommy and Tracy would say, pimping myself out. But yeah, any other questions you guys have before we wrap this up? Just a bit of a advertisement, I should say, for tomorrow. We have D Flipping Particles coming on. Most of you guys should know D. If you don't, she's racing to 1K too. So I want to do my best to help her get there because she's been fighting for that 1K a lot longer than I have. So I want to try to help her get as close as she can. Plus, I just think that she'd be a great interview, good person to kind of share information and knowledge with the community. We kind of learn about, how D does what D does.
Right. She's cool. She's really cool, real easygoing.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. I've been in a few of her lives on the way to work and good time.
She goes live at noon too, guys. That's 45 minutes from now. So make sure you go show her some love. Hit that subscribe button on her channel if you haven't already. And just let her know that you came in from the morning show and you look forward to seeing her tomorrow.
Michelle Lathan dropped Dee's link in chat here.
I'll highlight that.
Anybody that isn't familiar with her, check her out.
Yep. Absolutely. Anything you guys want to share before we Lisa C says Derek just started a live for me. That's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I got a notification for it. That's
really nice of him. So I'll get out of here so that he can pimp me out, I guess. I do appreciate it though. Hey, a couple of pickers, what's going on? Yeah, you're a little bit late, but you could always re-watch it when you're packing orders or whatever. But
I was late too, a couple of pickers, so you must have been late like me.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we have a good week coming up next week too. I'm not sure who's all coming on just yet. We're still picking out some guests and setting up our agenda for next week. But I know for a fact Tuesday, Ads Robinson's coming on from the UK. So that should be a really awesome show. If you guys don't know Ads, you're in for a treat. And then Wednesday, for Nate's very first live stream, we're having Marcy Kennedy and Shane Rise and Grind Picker on. So that should be a pretty good show. And the rest of the week is up in the air, I think. You have anybody scheduled next week, Tommy?
No, we're working on a couple of people.
Cool. Yeah, there's a couple people that are kind of like right now that I'm trying to just lock down dates with too. So we should be having some fun.
Destiny's my reach out person, so I know she was gonna try to do some follow up this morning. So I'll see if she made any contact. Reselling Addicts says ads ? Ads is a younger guy he's UK, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's got an awesome backstory. He's an awesome kid, very intelligent. I shouldn't say kid; he's an adult, but he's very smart when it comes to reselling.
Yeah,
and he's worked through some hurdles, which is just amazing to me.
Yeah, a lot of respect for him. I'll actually be going on he's doing a 12-hour marathon that he's going to be doing Thanksgiving, I believe. So my wife's working, so I'll be hitting that up. So make sure you guys are subscribed to him if you're not. But like I said, Tuesday you'll all get to meet him. You'll really enjoy him.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be working Thanksgiving or not yet. It falls on a Thursday, of course, so I work that day, so I don't know if they're gonna push it and switch my day to Friday or what's going on. But if I do work, I get paid my normal rate plus they give me 8 hours for holiday, and then I get time and a half for that day. So I make like crazy money.
There you go. What's up?
Let's see.
Thanks, Lisa. And Misha just shared his link there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's what I was just
I
trying
want
to
to make sure that you show him some love. Gary's asking when I'm getting my shirts. I just direct shipped some stuff to Tommy just the other day. He should be getting some in the mail today. And then there's a couple sizes that were out that he's going to get next week. But anybody that wants to order a Picksburgh shirt, just let me know, and I can get that all set up for you. Either that, or you can even reach out to Tommy, and because he's basically the Teespring here. So you can reach out to either me or Tommy, and we'll get you taken care of.
Yeah. Or Destiny. Destiny can
Or
handle it too. She's also a contact on it for the merch.
It said Teespring is Tommy Spring.
Yep, that's what it stands for.
Tommy Spring event or effect.
Yep.
We're gonna take all the merch names, just jokingly, like Amazon merch and Teespring and Cafe Press, and we're gonna try to mash them all together into a name. And I had one, I can't remember how we did it, but it was like T Merch Cafe or some shit.
Hey Tommy, as part of because I'm wanting to do a giveaway for 1,000.
All right.
Part of that, depending on who would win, would you be able to direct ship a T-shirt to them, whatever?
Yeah, I can direct ship to anybody.
Okay,
that's not a problem.
Cool. So yeah, a T-shirt will be part of it, but I'm going to be giving away more than just a T-shirt for 1,000. I want to put together something nice for you guys because that's a pretty big milestone, and I've already have my watch time, so essentially I'll be monetized shortly after that. So
that's awesome.
I want to make sure that you guys get something for supporting me and being awesome. So Tommy will definitely make you I could just special order custom stuff for you, but I don't know. We'll see. Because I know when I hit 100, I gave away like a $20 gift certificate to my eBay store. I might give away free eBay store stuff. I might do a gift card. I don't know yet. You guys have any ideas, do me a favor, just leave them as comments on this video after it ends, so that way I can go back and see them, because I can't always get back to the chat. So any ideas of stuff you would want to receive as a 1,000 subscriber giveaway, I'd appreciate that.
$1 million.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I want too. Tell you what, I will share it with you once I hit the lottery.
Hey, that's a good deal. I'll take that. I'll tell you what, if I hit $1 million, I'll share with you. If you hit $1 million, you share with me.
Sounds good. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up, though. We'll be back on my channel tomorrow with D, and Gary wants $1,000. Me too. Everybody wants $1,000. Come on. That's what's up. Tell you what, whenever I make $1,000, I'll give you $1,000. The quickest way to get me to make $1,000 is to go buy stuff from my eBay store.
There you go.
Buy now.
That is below too. But I appreciate all you guys. Yeah, I could definitely give away 1,000 black and yellow M&Ms. That's a good idea.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Yep. Alrighty, guys, we're out. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Kids